秀演员。我现在在波士顿，办了一个俱乐部，叫顶好喜剧。为什么要建立这个俱乐部呢？一个是因为我需要一个地方去磨我的段子，你付出的努力越多，它最后的结果越自然，看起来就好像只是一个人在台上讲话一样。欢迎大家哈，这个第一次来的朋友举个手，我看一下。哇哦，全部的，我们这个没有回头客的，我们一个回头客都没有，我竟然。前期你当然要碰很多。
I thought this was a really inspiring short about perseverance and carving out a niche. And I love the subject. I think that the filmmakers chosen an excellent subject and an excellent topic that I wouldn't even think to explore on my own. And so it was really great to see this narrative compiled in a really clean, funny, and endearing way. Fascinating that the lead is a data analyst. I think that they did a really great job of juxtaposing who this character is or who this person is in their day life, and then showing the drive and the amount of work and energy it takes to accomplish something like this in the nightlife. And I love watching them compete across in the Boston Comedy Festival as they're trying to get this thing off the ground. I think that following the lead throughout his daily life was a really smart idea. And then eventually weaving in the other people who they've inspired to join on this journey and join and partake in the comedy sector in this way. Was really cool. And it created a really clean narrative arc for me in understanding the journey that it takes to get to somewhere like this. I also thought that the cutting and the editing was really biting and great. I think they captured some really great jokes. And I really enjoyed meeting different people or encountering different people from that orbit around this world. It really helped to create really great context.
Well done documentary short about sort of being an artist and creating space in which there might not be space. And I thought it was a really fascinating backdrop with this Chinese American, an immigrant, I believe. He had come over, used to live in China, now lives in Boston, who had created a comedy club that created a space for him and people that he knew that didn't necessarily exist. And I thought that art is about community. It's about joy and passion. And I thought he really embodied that and really sort of used this piece to sort of be a message about that. I think that there are some people who believe that certain artistic spaces should not be accessible to everybody, and that's really the opposite of how art is supposed to work. And I thought that he was really a great example of the true version of art that is functional outside of industry and money and sort of big contracts and those type of and big budgets and those type of dynamics, and it's sort of grounded, community based, and it's about connecting with people right around you and creating spaces for people right around you to be themselves and express themselves. And I thought that this endeavor really reflected that idea very well. So I ended up enjoying it and thought it was quite inspirational and quite fascinating to watch him as he goes through an early journey of his process to find himself as a creative.
I like the approach, following a stand-up comedian trying to do Chinese comedy in Boston, obviously involving the Chinese community, and I liked the how he just started from zero, and then he went looking for a place to do the comedy show, and then he found it in a beautiful and small and nice and cozy tea shop, and then from there he just kept developing his comedy skills, especially in Chinese. And I saw one of the main things that got me is also how stand-up comedian lives, because you usually see them just performing. You don't really see a stand-up comedian in the everyday life, and I think it was also a strong feature of the movie, showcasing how he got to that point and all the struggles and the difficulties he had to endure during the process. It was well done.
Really endearing. It was charming to see this individual pursue his dream the way he is. I know a lot of comics. I was literally at a comedy show yesterday, so I've got a pretty good insight to the struggle, and this feels just very on brand for the whole lifestyle. Everything about it, just very admirable work, and it's perhaps unsurprisingly very funny. There was just a lot of good laughs in here. It was a good time. I felt like I was just sort of invited as a member of an entourage and sort of enjoying his journey with him that way. So yeah, it was really fun, really well put together. And you know, anyone will tell you in the industry, you got to keep creating, you got to keep writing, and you got to keep producing. So hats off to them for doing it.
Inspiring documentary about pursuing your passions, even as you face failure, and even when you're not seeing the success you want to see, keep following your passion and keep doing what you like to do because it's what you like to do and not because of the success necessarily. I really liked the analogy they used about the watering hole and how people come to comedy to find that peace and that release, just like and how comedy brings people together in that way. I really liked hearing from everybody around the comedy club, like the audience members and the new comedians, and their take on the whole thing and how it's been helping them to come to this comedy club. I loved the persistence of our main protagonist and how even though he doesn't get picked for the finals, he, you know, keeps at it because it's something that he enjoys doing and it's his calling.
I really loved hearing the footage of his stand-up. It was quite good. I liked seeing the Chinese audience members enjoying the show and eating together. I also appreciated the footage of the Boston streets. The message he imparts in the film is very important to all of us. He encourages people to continue working on whatever brings joy and satisfaction. Excellent job.
They give us a fascinating look into the creative process and this unique stand-up comedian, Carl the Great. His efforts to building a community around entertainment and having fun as a means to overcoming grief and isolation amongst pandemic times that were such a struggle for everyone. And I'm loving his motivation, his enthusiasm, and yeah, that he's also trying to showcase comedy in his native language and welcoming others to see that comedy through his eyes.